Hey everyone, and welcome to my E3 2014 wrap-up video. So basically, I'm going to talk about a lot of things about E3 this year, and I want to get into it, and I'm going to start off with Microsoft. So let's get started. So Microsoft starts off every year with their press conference right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For some people, that's like noon Eastern Time and 11 Central Time. But anyways, they started off the press conference, and I was like, all right, well, I own a 360, so I know they're not going to show anything 360 this year. You know, last year we got World of Tanks and stuff like that. I haven't made the new upgrade to the new systems because I just don't want to. They have nothing that appeals to me yet, and the reason I only got a PlayStation 3 was because it had Killzone on it, and there was just some other games at the time that I wanted, and at the same thing was I didn't have a PC at the time that could run good games and stuff like that, so I got a PlayStation 3. I really wanted Halo, so I got an Xbox 360, and it was years and years later, probably after Halo Reach had came out, that I'd actually got an Xbox 360. So that was the only reason I got that, was for Gears and Halo, and I just wanted to play those two on there. I haven't played anything else on there. I have nothing else on there. And they announced some pretty cool games. Sunset Overdrive looks really great. I really want to play that. That really got me pumped because I love Insomniac games. I love all their games that they make. Ratchet and Clank, the Resistance series. I was sad to see that series be pretty much dead in terms of everything they're done. I don't think probably Sony's going to have another studio to make that series, so we're probably not going to ever see a Resistance game ever again. But anyways, they showed off a lot of other games, and then they got to Halo, and they showed off Halo, the Master Chief Collection. We knew this was coming. We knew that there was rumors before E3 that the Master Chief Collection was coming, and I watched it and I was like, holy crap, that's cool. I had to see the trailer with Agent Locke and the Arbiter in it, and they showed that little snippet of a cutscene of Halo 2 where Master Chief gives the Covenant back their bomb and blows up the Covenant carrier down there. It looked really good. Everybody, I kept thinking, oh, that's the anniversary, but then it kind of lured into Agent Locke, and I thought, oh, it's a Halo 5 trailer where they're just looking, but it wasn't. It was a Halo Master Chief Collection trailer, and it was really good. They always make good Halo trailers, I think, anyways. But I kept trying to hopefully that they kept going through this. They showed Halo 2 Ascension, a multiplayer map redone. And I was like, oh, this is cool. But then when I started seeing things, I was like, oh, wow, this is just like Halo Anniversary, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. They're just reusing a lot of assets because they're lazy and don't want to remake everything for Halo 2. So it's essentially just mashup of Halo Reach and Halo 4 models. I see that they did remodel some of the Halo 2 Marines for that game. They didn't cheat and like in Halo CEA and use Halo Reach Marines, so which was really cool. But out through the whole thing, he kept talking about things and things that they were adding. They were adding Halo Nightfall, which is a TV series, Halo 5 beta, and then I thought, I was getting my hopes up, thinking this is the point where they're going to say it's coming to PC. But they didn't, and that was one thing that it really sucked, and I kind of feel that I took two things away from that. One, it could be announced later in the other conferences, like Gamescom, Eurogamer, and they could talk about it coming to PC, but in 2015. If you look at a game like Titanfall was released on Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC, and it is one of Microsoft's biggest selling console game, one of their biggest games that sold a lot of their consoles. It sold a lot on the Xbox One, so why not bring something like Halo to the PC again? We haven't been able to finish the fight, so, hopefully later in the year they say, okay, it's coming out in November for the Xbox One, and then spring 2015 for the PC on Steam. I'd love that. Or it doesn't have to be on Steam, just as long as you release it on the PC. Didn't say much about Halo, just the Halo 5 beta. They did that little CG trailer of the Halo 5's multiplayer beta. It was alright. I don't think I'll probably, after the playing Halo 4, I probably won't get Halo 5 or an Xbox One to just play Halo 5. They're going to have to draw me in with that. But nothing else I took away from that except for the new Tomb Raider, which was a CG trailer as well. You can't say it looks good or not because you don't know really what it looks like. But that Phantom Dust, or I think whatever it was, they teased a Halo Wars, I guess you could say a wallpaper or a splash screen or something of Halo 5 in there, and it was Halo Wars, which begs me to wonder, are we going to see Halo Wars 2 in the coming years or so for the Xbox One? But anyways, there really wasn't much about Microsoft's conference else that I want to talk about because there was really nothing else. I'll tell you this, though. E3, to me, this was the most boring E3 ever. Last year, we didn't know Star Wars Battlefront was coming, so I wasn't ready for that. I just knew that EA just got the license, so I don't think they're going to announce anything, and then Battlefront came, So, yeah, I wasn't expecting anything, but I was really eager and ready for E3 last year. This year, I just thought it was the most boring E3 ever. Yeah, we got great footage from The Division, Far Cry 4. We got a half-assed trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. We got a really super half-assed trailer for the new Mass Effect game. And, I don't know, even way over half-assed for what I'm guessing is a game going to be called Burnout World, I bet. It's going to be called probably Burnout World from those guys that made Burnout, the past Burnouts. But E3's conference went around, and it was just a whole bunch of sports and freaking concept prototypes. I don't know. That cool part with the one where they're showing the creature from Mass Effect, it escapes my mind at the moment, and he roars great very, and you see the setting around there. You could tell that was pre-engine, in the engine instead of, actually in the game. I really hated EA's press conference. I thought I was going to go into this. I thought I was going to see a really cool actual in-game trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. Didn't get to see it. But, yeah, it was sad. EA's press conference was all about sports and concept art of in-game stuff of their games. But I don't want to spend too much time on EA's. I just started. I know everybody's going to probably say, "What the hell? You should be playing this sooner. Played this sooner." I just started on the Dragon Age series. I really, really wanted to play a cool medieval style game, and everybody was telling me to try Dragon Age Origins. So I'm trying it, and I'm also going to try The Witcher so I can get up with that series. And I may do some Let's Plays on those two series, but I'm not sure at the moment. Those two games, anyways. But that's another thing I took away from the E3. Every single game I almost saw everyone demo was a freaking medieval game, whether it was with or without magic in it, magic spells that you could cast and stuff. The Mordor game, I will definitely be getting and doing a lot of videos here on my channel with. That was one game that I really wanted to get after I saw it was demoed on Game Trailers' live stream. That was a game that I seriously wanted to play. But there wasn't many other games. The Division, I can't wait for it. Sad it was a 2015 game now. I was blown away by just the way it looked from last year's E3 to this year's. And then that CG trailer was pretty heartbreaking, and it was sad as well, So I can't wait for that game. Far Cry 4, I missed it at the beginning of Ubisoft's press conference because I was running to get in the Battlefield Hardline beta, which now I regret doing because I feel like that game is the worst Battlefield game of all time. I feel that I should be getting that free with my premium because for Battlefield 4. And not something that I have to pay $60 for plus more for premium. So I'm not picking up that game. Battlefield Hardline, most disappointing Battlefield game of all time for me. Even though it has some cool mechanics, has some cool things in it, but I would have rather preferred it as a DLC like Vietnam was for Battlefield Bad Company 3 or 2. Excuse me. Anyways, moving on to Sony's press conference, there was a lot of cool games. They had a lot of low points and a lot of high points. I liked when it went black for like 1 second, and then the whole stage lit up, and it was Little Big Planet 3. That was awesome. And then they announced that everything from the previous Little Big Planets will port over, all your stuff that you've created, port over to Little Big Planet 3. That was freaking awesome. I love that. I'm a big fan of Little Big Planet, and I knew that Sony was going to bring something to the table to counter Microsoft's Project Spark. And I knew that they were going to do it. Oh, that's another game. Project Spark looked really cool. It's really cool to see, but it's probably something I'll never play. My series is probably with Little Big Planet. I played Little Big Planet 1, Little Big Planet 2, the racing Little Big Planet. I just love those types of games that allow you to do stuff like that. Even though I say that I like those games, but then I say I won't play Spark. Well, it's because I'm leaning towards more buying a PlayStation 4 than I am a Xbox One. Yeah, I feel that Sony had some really good games. When they were revealing, I didn't know this till way after in the night, that Valve's joke about coming on Sony's press conference, I didn't know. I thought, oh, well, when is Valve going to come on the stage? Didn't know later until I checked on a website that it was actually just a really serious joke. I was very heartbroken that Valve really didn't announce anything. When they showed the trailer for Dead Island 2, I was like, oh, that has to be Left 4 Dead 3, because it has the funniness of Left 4 Dead in it, and that just has to be Left 4 Dead. Nope, it wasn't. It was Dead Island 2. I was really not expecting that game because Riptide wasn't a really great game. Dead Island was a cool game, and Dying Light's pretty much just a hybrid of everything from Dead Island, Riptide, and Dead Island, and some parkouring and that's it. I don't see why we need a Dead Island 2. Give us something different, because it's pretty much going to be the same combat style as Dying Light. So anyways, after that, there was not much. We got a huge tease of Uncharted, and that was really awesome. That's a series that's what makes me want to buy a PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4, is because of Uncharted. Uncharted is a really great game. The only game I haven't played in the series for that one is Golden Abyss, because I just, it's just not my type of game on the Vita. But anyways, I feel like I took away from Sony's press conference that it was really awesome. Microsoft had games, but Sony had the more better games. They showed Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity, and I'm getting really tired of the Assassin's Creed series. I kind of stopped at 3, halfway through 3 actually. I want to play Black Flag, but I stopped halfway through 3 because the game's getting boring after a while. 4, I really want to get into. I just have so many other games that I want to play that I just don't have time to play through a game like that. But anyways. Another game that was announced at Ubisoft's press conference was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, I think it was. And it's not, I forget the name it was previously, but this was really cool. This was multiplayer footage. And usually with some types of games like that, you just see the single player footage and then they show multiplayer later at a different event or something because it's not ready yet. But this was really awesome. This was really, really well done multiplayer. And I definitely want to pick up that game. I hope it comes to PC because I will definitely be picking that up to play and do some videos on it as well. But now that it's been, since I think it was Thursday when E3 ended, it's been hard to remember everything because there's been so much. But in a sense, when you look at it, it really wasn't that great of an E3. You got a lot of games from last year shown again. That this is the second E3 they've been at, and they're still not coming until 2015. There's a lot of games. Far Cry 4 looked really great with the elephants, riding the elephants into the battle. I liked in the demo that they showed on, I think it was Sony stage. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think it was Sony stage, where they showed you basically, you unlocked a pin and an elephant was coming through and it was just helping you destroy the space. That's what I loved about Far Cry 3, was if they had caged animals, you could just basically knock those cages open or shoot those cages open, and the animals would help you start attacking them, and then they would turn on you, and then you would have to kill them or something. But anyways, Far Cry 4, definite game I'm going to get this year. I really liked Far Cry 3. It was really a game that I sat down and played a lot of the single player with. Never touched the multiplayer, but I did play the single player like crazy. So yeah, I'll be picking that up. Again, The Division looked amazing from last year. What I thought was, I kept getting these different reports, about about the I forget what it was now, but it was Titanfall 2 was going to be shown at Sony's press conference, and I was like, what? And it was someone that actually mistyped their article and said that they were thinking about bringing it to the PlayStation 4, but I thought we were already getting it on the PlayStation 4, so, I don't understand that. But anyways, there was literally hardly any PC games announced there. We have games that are coming to the PC, but they're also coming to the consoles as well. I'm really hoping that Microsoft, as Phil Spencer said, he wants to repair the Windows gaming PC, and he wants to repair that and get games coming to the PC. It'd be cool to see the Age of Empires series back again. It'd be cool to see Halo Wars ported to the PC and allow for modding capabilities, because Ensemble Studios, when they created that, they were mainly a PC company. They made nothing but PC games that allowed for people to mod their PC RTS games. I'd really like to see maybe them do like a Halo Wars edition, or a pack that maybe when they announce Halo Wars 2, hey, here's it on the PC, but you also get Halo Wars with it. So, that'd be kind of cool to see, but I don't think we're going to get anything with Halo Wars this year in terms of announcements. I think that's going to be next year, probably at their press conference, because they wanted to focus everything on the Master Chief Collection, and they wanted to focus everything on Sunset Overdrive and other games that they had exclusive to their console. When I said earlier, two things I took away from that, it was, that hopefully it's announced later in the year, at Gamescom, and say it's coming in 2015, spring 2015. There was Engadget released a video. I think it was a vlog where they talked about that one of them actually saw Halo the Master Chief Collection running with PC controls. And like he said in the video, you don't write that in a message into your game unless it's coming to that console. And every single time Phil Spencer, not Phil Spencer, but the two, Frank O'Connor and I forget the other guy, that would always sit down with like IGN, GameSpot, or the Twitch live streamer, Twitch live streaming E3, or like I said, IGN, they would always get asked that same question: where is the PC collection? And I felt like what they were saying, what Frank O'Connor always answered that question. And I feel that his was scripted. I think it felt like Microsoft said, this is what you need to say if people ask about the PC version. You say this about this, and in the IGN stream, he says Microsoft is really committed with the PC and putting games on the PC, but he said it so quietly, it was like, maybe that was part of him saying that maybe, yeah, it's coming to PC, but not right now because we're wanting it on the Xbox One first. And I don't see anybody buying an Xbox One just to play Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 4, when it's on here. I don't see people just buying it for the Halo 2 Anniversary. I think that was really wrong in Microsoft's eyes to not release Halo 2 Anniversary by itself on the 360. I don't understand why Microsoft just constantly, when Xbox came out and then Xbox 360 came out, they completely killed the Xbox. GameStop stopped selling Xbox games like almost immediately. And Xbox games become really expensive. If you look at some on Amazon, like Star Wars Battlefront 2, because it was really rare on that console. They didn't sell and make a lot of copies for that. So, and then we hear nothing of the Xbox 360 except in terms of Assassin's Creed and certain franchises that are still staying on those last-gen consoles until probably the next game comes out. But I looked at and said, why wasn't Halo 2 Halo 2 Anniversary Edition released on the 360? Give it to the 360 people that, wanted it really bad on there, and people that aren't buying your console. It's kind of like saying, you have a 360, you're not going to play Halo 2 unless you put down $400 for a console. So, There really wasn't much, you know. I watched a couple of these live streams of the Smash Brothers. You know, I'm not a big Nintendo fan. I haven't been a big Nintendo fan since Nintendo 64. In terms of, you know, I really still like Mario and Metroid and all those other games that are exclusive, like Pokemon and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of those, but I just don't feel like spending money on a Wii or a Wii U to play those games, or a 3DS or 2DS. You know, I'd rather just sit down and watch them on, you know, YouTube and stuff like that. But the Mario Maker looked really cool. I always wished for something like that. You know, there is like a thing on the PC where you can screw with the emulated versions of Mario. And I remember, I think it was Nintendo way back, actually sued this group for creating stuff like that. But it looked really cool. I really wanted to try that, and that could possibly, you know, with Super Smash Brothers coming out, make me want to buy a Wii U to play Super Smash Brothers and the Mario Maker, you know. So we'll see. It probably won't until a massive price drop on that comes. But we didn't see any price drop for the. Everybody was thinking we're going to see a price drop for the PlayStation 3, and I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. That I thought Sony would come out and say price drop for the 360. For the PlayStation 3, and then I thought Microsoft would come out and say a price drop even more for the higher gigabyte consoles that they have. You know, I know the 4 gig is about what, $99. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it's $99. And I see a lot of these other Xbox 360s that are still high priced because they're like 250 gigs or something like this. And these consoles are old now. There's no games coming to them unless you're Sony, and still releasing some games for the PlayStation 3, but not many. These are just basically franchise consoles now. They're basically for like Assassin's Creed and games like those that are still franchises that are like in Call of Duty. I completely forgot to talk about Call of Duty. That dumb vehicle, if you heard that. But anyways, I've heard so much, you know, that people were saying price drop. We didn't get it. We did not get anything. I swear this is really annoying with the no Last Guardian. I thought, oh, we'll definitely get a console switch to the PlayStation 4 for the Last Guardian because it has more horsepower, more RAM, a bigger video card. You know, it has everything in it that's really perfect for the Last Guardian to make it even more beautiful than what that trailer we saw all those years ago, those many years ago. And Agent, that was another disappointment. You know, Rockstar was supposedly working on the game, but I don't think they are anymore. I think that's a game that, you know, they stopped work on for GTA 5. They completely took more time for GTA 5. You know, GTA 5 now coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I will only be picking it up on the PC. I had played it on the 360, played the multiplayer. I haven't played the multiplayer, but I have completed the entire story for the 360, and I would definitely be picking it up for the PC so I can play the multiplayer because, you know, I just don't feel compelled to turn on a console to play multiplayer for a game that I know I can have on the PC. There was a lot of games that I was hoping for. I was hoping EA would announce the Visual Game Studios Star Wars game. I thought maybe they, like they did with Star Wars Battlefront, would release a tease trailer. If you want to check my video out on Star Wars Battlefront, how disappointed I was with that. I'm still so disappointed in it. I take to the new Star Wars Battlefront EA Twitter, and I keep tweeting them about how disappointed I was and how much, you know, this was, and they asked a question on there: if you could be any Star Wars character in Star Wars Battlefront, what would you be? And I said I wanted to be a clone trooper and a stormtrooper with the E5 blaster. Now, if you don't know what the E5 blaster was, it's actually the battle droid that carries their regular blaster rifle from Star Wars Battlefront, or if you've seen him in the Clone Wars TV show. In Star Wars Battlefront 2, it was basically just turned into a shotgun, except if you're playing as a droid marine in space. And what I said to continue that was, I said, and it looks like in 2015 I won't get to play that because right now the way this game is going, I think it's Rebels and Empire only. And like I said in my other video, if that is not, if the Clone Wars is not in the Battlefront, it's not a true Battlefront game. Name it, just rename it and take back the name Star Wars First Assault and slap the name on there. That's all you need, because it isn't a Battlefront game without those two the four movie factions: Republic, Separatist, Empire, Rebels. We got to have all of them, or it's not a true Battlefront game. Pandemic didn't make Battlefront with just the Galactic Civil War in mind. They made it with the Clone Wars and the Galactic Civil War in mind. Same with the second game. Same with Renegade Squadron with Rebellion. Same with Elite Squadron. Same with Free Radical trying to make Star Wars Battlefront 3. They knew that the Clone Wars need to be put in there. But I'm not going to ramble on much about it, because I got another video about that that's already uploaded to my YouTube channel. But what else is there? There's not really much else to talk about with E3, and I know I've been rambling on so much about E3, but Gamescom is right around the corner. Comic-Con is right almost here, but Gamescom is right around the corner, so is Eurogamer. Eurogamer comes first, I think. There's not much to talk about, because there's not that many games coming out this year that are really important to me. Far Cry 4 is, if I can ever get around to completing Assassin's Creed 4, then Assassin's Creed Unity will mean something to me. But there's just not that many games that's coming out this year. I hope that later in the year they announce the Master Chief Collection, because I will definitely pre-order that without even a second thought. But GTA 5 coming out this fall, probably in October. I hope it's not PC last, Xbox 4, Xbox One first, and then watch in spring 2015, PC version, because freaking Rockstar always screws PC fans over. With GTA 5, it was like a whole year almost before we got it, and it's a whole year with GTA 5 for the next generation consoles. I swear, that game looks freaking beautiful. I thought it looked beautiful on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but holy crap, next generation, or this generation, beautiful, amazing. Out of Microsoft's press conference, I would rate it a 8 out of 10. EA's, I would rate a 4 out of 10. Ubisoft's, I would rate a 7 out of 10. And Sony's press conference, I would definitely rate that a 9 out of 10, just because they showed off Uncharted. And that was one game that I talked about, was Uncharted, about how they just announced the game last year. They lost two of their main people, one that writes the story for the past Uncharted games, and I forget his other name. I forget the other guy. But they lost two of those people, and they were able to give us a small sneak peek of the game, which was really sick, because when you look at it, they can, a company that's so good at making games like Naughty Dog is, and DICE being so good at making first-person shooters, could not give us an actual in-game footage of Star Wars Battlefront, or BioWare not giving us an actual in-game look at Mass Effect. That's just, oh my god. You look at these other companies that are doing so well in some of their games within a year from last year's E3, and you're like, how is DICE and BioWare nowhere with a Mass Effect game? Mass Effect 3's been out, since 2012, I think? They've had so long to work on a Mass Effect game. They could have showed something more. I was very disappointed. That's why I'm giving. I would love to give EA's press conference a 1 out of 10, but it's just because they talked about Mass Effect and they talked about Star Wars Battlefront. That's why it gets a 4 out of 10. Another great game I'm looking forward to, which I will probably have to play on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, is Metal Gear Solid 5, and I can't wait for that game. I'm a big Metal Gear Solid fan. I love Snake Eater. That was a really great game. I loved Metal Gear Solid 4. I haven't played Portable Ops, and I'm sad that the game's not coming to PC. That Raiden Metal Gear Solid game came to the PC. Never touched that game because it didn't look cool to me. It just looked really stupid. But yeah, so there's my conclusion of the E3 roundup. It's been about 30 minutes, and you can listen to this, probably go do some other things and listen to it at the same time. You don't have to watch the gameplay and stuff. That it's just random gameplay of Ghost and Titanfall and some other game, Battlefield Hardline, that I'm gonna put in here. But if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. Please subscribe if this is your first time watching this video, because subscribing is really going to help. I want to try to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know I probably won't, but we're almost at 600, so 400 more, that won't be so bad. But leave a comment down there if you want to discuss more about what I said. I will certainly get into the discussion in the comments. But I hope that you guys like this video. I put a lot of heart into it. This is my opinion. This is not what what you guys are going to think, but it's my opinion. And you can take my opinion and like it, or you can dislike it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.